You're tuned into the MotoAmerica AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship on a MotoAmerica Superbikes at Texas weekend as we prepare for Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul, their 6th round of 7 for 2025. Here at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, all eyes on Alessandro Di Mario as his competition tries to put a stop to his domination so far this season. Welcome everyone to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, standing alongside two-time national champ Jason Pridmore. Now, Jason, Di Mario's already wrapped up a championship this year, and he's on the cusp of doing it again this weekend.
Yeah, Greg, he defended his Twins Cup championship, as you say, and if he can get out of here, out of COTA, with a 50-point or more lead, he is going to be the champion in our Talent Cup. Now, when we go back to VIR, Hank Vosberg is really the guy the second half of the season, Greg, that has been able to push Di Mario to a certain extent. So really impressed with the 31 and what his future could be. Di Mario in race number 2 would come back. Neither one of these riders wanted to lead going into the last lap. Di Mario played the game a little bit better and was able to take Vosberg at the line there to get yet another win for 2025.
And keep in mind, for this class, they were here in April with MotoGP. This is their second visit to Circuit of the Americas.
Yep, and they're actually a little bit quicker, as you would expect, Greg. A year of development under these bikes. They go up to turn 1, very steep all the way through these fast S's. A lot of speed down that back straightaway and a lot of drafting as they break down into turn number 12. Through the stadium section, 17, 18, 19. You got to piece those together for a good braking spot going into turn 20 if you want to try to win this race, because it is a short run to that checkered flag.
Awesome racetrack here, but all eyes on Sam Drain moving forward because the 59 has a chance to at least keep Di Mario at bay. Can he get it done? Race after this.
.44 points the difference for Sam Drain to Alessandro Di Mario. Di Mario starting from that pole position, and Raj, once again from Alessandro, he just looks like the rider to beat this weekend.
Yeah, he's just been fast for all weekend. And Alessandro, I think we expected that going into the year, that he was going to be the guy with the most experience in the class and the guy to beat. But his lap time so far this weekend has been pretty incredible. But the one thing here at the race at COTA, the long back straightaway on these bikes, if you're a couple tenths off, if you can stay in that draft, it can totally change the game.
We've seen it over the course of this season as well. Hank Vosberg has been very impressive in Talent Cup, but also in the Twins Cup class. 3 times a race winner here in the Talent Cup series. You'd expect a 31 from the middle of the front row to be able to bring that charge.
Yeah, and he's a smart rider too, so he knows he's got to get a good start and not let Alessandro try to pull a gap in this first sector on the opening lap, because that's what he's going to try to do. And it's going to be fun to watch Kenzie Matsudaira, what he's able to do. I've been watching him in the Mini Cup for years now. Now I get to see him on the big stage and what he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, and just looking at Kenzie as well on the 74 machine, what makes him special? What makes him stand out on those Mini Cup bikes transitioning onto the Talent Cup?
Well, just you can just tell that the kid's got a lot of talent, and he goes to Europe, and also his dad and his family put a lot of resources into it, and they do a lot of races traveling around the country, and they put the time in, and then now we're getting to see what he can do. Changes
on the grid for this weekend with the likes of Bodie Page changing squads, and certainly for Bodie leading off that second row of the grid, it's a good second row with Sam Drain, Ella Dreher on there on 5th and 6th on the grid, and then Cody Cobb from 7th on the grid. We've seen Cody able to put in some impressive performances through the course of this season on the number 12 bike. This is going to be a tough race for him though, with the long back straight. We'll see how he's able to fare, but Greg White, Jason Pridmore and Jamie Howe are going to take us through the 12 laps of action here in the Talent Cup.
Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul is brought to you by Parts Unlimited, an industry-leading distributor of aftermarket power sports parts and accessories. Parts Unlimited, we support the sport. By Motul, powering the future of racing. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
Back at Circuit of the Americas, we take a look at the starting grid for this Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul. We have Di Mario, 2:26.
That's crazy.
891 new lap record.
Yeah, and then we have Vosberg, and then we have Kenzie Matsudaira, who comes from our Mini Cup stuff, Greg, so it's great to see him. Bodie Page, Sam Drain, Ella Dreher with a nice qualifying as well. She's going to be lining up outside row 6. Cody Kopp, Solly Mervis, and Carson King. Then we have Nathan Betancourt, Derek Sanchez, Rossi Garcia, and then we have Landon Smith and Ian Fraley back on row number 5. It's crazy, Greg, because Di Mario got out so late this morning. He'd done a done a good lap time yesterday. Did a 26 yesterday. He got 1 lap in this morning and went 26.
Unreal.
So they're a couple seconds quicker than they were here in the spring. So is DeMario. And I feel like a lot of the riders definitely stepped up, and they're a little bit more seasoned on this bike now because we've got 6 rounds under our belt on them. And so everybody's doing a little bit better. There's been some really nice qualifying efforts from a few of the kids that we saw a little bit further back earlier in the year.
Here's DeMario now. To the line early, the 5th in points rider. Letting those tires cool down. This is Kramer APX 350, about 55 horsepower. Not a ton of horsepower when you're faced with this large of a racetrack. So we expect a lot on the back straightaway, but it's all on the hands of the 27, the would-be champion Alessandro DeMario. He's on pole position. If he gets away, the rest of this field is going to be battling it out for second. So away we go, up the hill to turn number 1.
Oh, Vosberg with a problem. Boy, it was good to see. I believe it was Solly Mervis behind him, and that could have gotten really, really bad. So what a shame for the 31 of Vosberg. Also, it looks like Fraley has a problem on the 10 as well, so I'm not sure if it's a clutch or what it could be. We'll see if Fraley gets going. See Vosberg looking down. So the guy that we thought would be one of the main contenders to go after DeMario in this race out early, or at least he's at the back of the field now. So we're going to see who's going to take up the chase, Greg. I believe it's probably Bodie Page there.
It is. It's Bodie Page,
okay,
who's now on the Jones Honda.
Yep.
And that's why if you watch the series before the 65, they look a little bit weird, the Australian. Now with Jones Honda, he's in second place. But the concern is DeMario, like with the lead he has right now, even the draft and pass isn't going to help him off the back straightaway. So these riders have got to work together on the back straightaway to try to close the gap to the 27 of DeMario, who is on that Warhorse Ducati American racing machine.
Yeah, and I think that when you look at it now, it's like that little bit of separation. As we look at the last two, I want to see if Fraley and Vosberg are even able to keep going. It looks like they're just struggling to get back to the pits. But DeMario with a great run through the S's on the opening lap, and it looks like Page is kind of closing that gap back in a little bit. You see the 74 there, Kenzie also running in third. And Ella Dreher, Greg, again, she's strong. If she goes into the braking zone, she's going to take over third from both those guys. So the 22 of Ella Dreher moves herself up into that podium spot, and she's going to go chasing after Page.
Oh, we had another rider with
as
a problem.
DeMario as well. Did somebody else go a little bit wide back there?
Yeah, another rider who had an issue, and I think it might have been Kenzie on the 74 on the Road Racing World Young Guns machine. He had looked down, so Kopp, who went wide, now takes over that 5th spot. And Ella Dreher on the MP13 machine in third. And yeah, they were able to close down on DeMario, but this is where he shines through all these twisty sections. And the thing about this road course is there's a lot of time on the edge of the tire here at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, and the thing is, Greg, like you say, he's got so much experience. He's been on the smaller bikes, and he's won a couple Twins Cup championships right now. DeMario doing a nice job here in Talent Cup, leading this championship. Cody Kopp with a big,
yikes.
Oh, and he's off the track too. So something happened there for Cody. I wonder what happened there, Greg. That was really strange. Just shot him up out of the air.
I don't know if that maybe the engine or something happened.
Something happened, didn't it? Yes.
I don't know if that's smoke.
While he was running in the top 5, by the way. So it's just such a bummer for Cody. Had a really good discussion with him. But getting back to DeMario, big announcement this weekend from the Rahal Ducati team that he had been bumped up to Supersport next year. So DeMario is looking forward to getting on with getting on the new Ducati be a new Ducati for him next year.
Yeah, so we can't wait to see him in Supersport, the 16-year-old. Looking forward to that. Now another look at Kopp as the bike goes sideways. Boy, look at all of that skill and height. And something happened big with that motorcycle, and it expired, and what a save he put on. So now Ella Dreher in third spot, trying to find a way around the 65 of Page on that Jones Honda. Oh, let's check in with Jamie Howe. The number 22 Ella Dreher takes over second spot.
Well, I talked to Ella Dreher out on the grid when she was in the 6th position, and she said, I really have nothing to complain about. Everything was going exactly the way they wanted it to. Each and every session she was able to improve. She was able to pick up some pace. And over the course of the season, from being here in March to now, she said she feels so much more comfortable aboard that motorcycle. So now you think about the opening couple of laps here for Ella and how much more encouraged she's going to be. It's great to see these young riders able to have these opportunities, but then able to also go out there and continue to get better and better each and every session. session.
And Sam Drain on the Yamaha Blue Crew Essence and Racing machine goes a little wide as he was able to reel in the riders in front of him. And this is where we've seen the 22 of Dreyer just right in the middle of these fights.
Look how comfortable she looks, though. I love how comfortable Ella looks on the bike as far as how she sits on it, how she rides, lines, all those things. And this, Greg, is what you talk about so often in this class, is watching these riders mature. And we've seen the three that she's racing with right now be main podium contenders all season long. And right now, she has some pace over Bodie Page. And as you can see, DeMario's not getting too far away. Ella should get a nice draft up the front straightaway this time and maybe be able to do something with Bodie by the time they get to the top of turn number 1. And if she can get a clear run through the S's down through turns 2, 3, 4 and all that, maybe she has something that she can close that gap to DeMario.
DeMario, fastest lap of the race at a 27.6, but Bodie Page at 27.8, Ella Dreyer 27.7. She wasn't able to complete the pass. She got around him for a moment. She certainly did. And the question of the 22 is Ella Dreyer, born in February, Jason. She's 15 years old, so by the time we get to MotoAmerica next year, she's going to be 16 and eligible for Supersport. So a lot of chatter about Ella Dreyer and her future in MotoAmerica. Is she going to make the transition to Supersport? And if so, with what team? So those questions have yet to be answered, but definitely something we're going to be keeping an eye on in the next couple of weeks, because a lot of people are looking at the young Floridian Dreyer saying, hey, there's a lot of talent here because she's good. She's got tools in her toolbox for all.
Sam Drain with a big moment.
Up and out. But she has all the tools in her toolbox across the board. Good on the brakes, good corner entry speed, you know, good lean angle and good drive, and that makes for a good motorcycle.
Well,
and she's got racecraft.
And I love it because we got to watch Kayla come up through some of the smaller classes initially as well, and we see what Kayla has turned into as a super sport rider. She's done an incredible job, and to have another young lady in Ella Dreyer flying the flag as well to get herself moved up and jumped up. And you know, when you talk to Melissa Paris, she saw something in Ella that she really, really liked. Obviously, at the end of last year, Melly works really hard on her program. She runs a couple different riders. And look at Ella. She's going to go straight to the apex here. Try to go up underneath. What bike control. Such good bike control. But Melissa's got two really good riders down there in Ella Dreyer, both young. Aiden Steen's riding super sport for her, and she's putting competitive motorcycles under both her riders.
And if you're wondering why the 65 of Bodie Page on the Jones Honda, the replay you can see. Watch Sam Drain coming into the screen right here. And Drain's just sideways. Dirt track, flat track control. We've seen a couple good saves on these Kramers so far. And oh, look at the chatter on that bike. Wanted to go back to Bodie Page, Jones Honda. Correa had that ride, but he's off in Europe racing, and so that motorcycle was left open and available, and Bodie Page got the call, and with good reason. Already a race winner this year is the number 65. DeMario has 5, Bodie Page has 1, Hank Vosberg has 3. As we look at Vosberg in the running order all the way down there in 12th place for Vosberg with a problem, and then Sam Drain also a race winner. A podium finisher is Ella Dreyer, but no win yet this season. For DeMario, 227.260 on that last lap, fastest lap of the race once again as he continues to extend his lead now at 1.5 seconds. So DeMario, Page, Dreyer, Drain, Solly Mervis up into 5th place. Boy, a good run for Solly Mervis as he's ahead of Betancourt, Carson King, Garcia, and Sanchez as the 31 of Vosberg continues to...
I think he may have come in the pits. He may have come in the pits and got going again, but he's probably circulating great because they got to finish 75% of the race, right?
75% of the race, points. And you have to take the checkered flag within 5 minutes of it flying for the first time.
Okay, so that's the thing there. As you get another look here at Ella Dreyer battling with Bodie Page. It's a 1.5 second lead last time through for the leader, but DeMario just dropped the hammer through the first split. He is 4/10 quicker as Ella Dreyer now is going to take another shot here at Bodie. He looks over and sees it's Ella. She makes that pass. She's going to run it out onto the curbing, Greg. And there's Vosberg again. We see him. The leaders are actually down the back straightaway at the moment. There they are. And Bodie's going to draft back past Ella. But look, he's got to get far enough ahead because Ella will literally go straight to the apex when they get down to the end of this back straightaway and try to make this pass back. See, she's kind of in the draft. She's not quite close enough. Yep, not quite there.
Yeah, but she's really good coming into The back straightaway, a little bit up and out of the saddle for Ella. She gets on the gas with too much lean angle. We'll see if she's able to close that gap back down. But for Dreyer, she's, it was one of the things we talked about before, Jay. She's good on the brakes and was able to make the pass in certain sections where she's comfortable.
Yeah, she's definitely got some corner speed. It just looks like she's struggling a little bit. Like, it doesn't look like it's as easy for her to maybe draft past Bodie as it was for him to actually draft past her. So she looked like she lost the front there for a minute. See her outside foot come off the peg. So again, she's got a lot of bike handling skills, does Ella, and she's going to close back up here in a minute onto the back of Bodie Page. Look at that chatter from that motorcycle.
The other thing to keep in mind too for these Kramer APX 350s, these are KTM dirt bike motors, so they're only 5-speed motorcycles. And so oftentimes we find in race number 1 in Talent Cup that there's a lot of gearing issues as DeMario, a 26.858. But keep in mind, these riders were here back in April. It was their very first race. And so we're getting close to 2 seconds a lap faster, DeMario is, than they went back in April. It shows you the development, how quickly these motorcycles because the specs of the motorcycles are exactly the same as they were at the beginning of the season. So the team's having the time to mess with gearing, mess with the suspension settings, geometry settings, and of course the riders getting faster, these young riders increasing their talent and experience, and this is what we're seeing. It just in 5 short months from the time we were here in MotoGP to now, to be going 2 seconds a lap faster at the exact same track and a track that's a lot warmer is amazing.
Wow, there was a lot of pressure on Kramer to just show up at the MotoGP event that we had. Oh, Ella. Ooh. She had that thing going sideways early. It almost looked like she didn't anticipate it to snap back on her as violently as it did. That thing was sideways for a long time before she decided to get out of it, and that's going to help Sam Drain close up on the back a little bit here.
And behind Sam Drain is Solly Mervis. Jamie?
You mentioned the fact that he's inside of the top 5, Solly Mervis. That's his best running position so far this season. His best result so far has been in just 9th place. So for him, this is going to be hugely encouraging. And you think about the rider that Solly is, everything that he's been able to overcome. He's one of the youngest in the Talent Cup field, yes, at 21 years old, but he's overcome so much with his autism and overcoming his social issues that he's dealt with throughout his life. And it's just really encouraging to see him put his head down, believe in himself, and then come out here and be able to perform and encourage other riders to do the same.
Yeah, there's no question. Solly's a special kid. He's a really good guy. If you ever get a chance to talk to him, always in a good mood. And he's got some really sharp guys down there working with him. Greg, Danny Walker, who you and I have known for so long, as well as Robin Hawley, who has been around so many great teams. So he's got some wise heads. As we look at Melissa Perez there, checking out what Ella's doing. Ella's still working hard. Looks like she's just suffering a little bit of grip issues, Greg. That bike has definitely given her a couple little issues, but she's going to keep going. What do we got, Greg? We got 2 laps to go this time by. I know Ella's going to try to ramp back up here and run Bodie Page back down.
So as DeMario comes across the stripe after setting the fastest Sector 2 line, there's the 31 of Vosberg rolling around in the back there. So 27.3. 27.8, 28.1 for Dreyer in 3rd place, but Sam Drain, fastest lap of his race at a 27.5, so he's closing in on Ella Dreyer with 2 laps to go. That's the final spot on the podium. You know, I like what I'm seeing from Bodie Page too, Jay, because when you look at Bodie Page, it's not easy to switch teams in the middle of a season, and even more so late in the season. So for the young Australian to move over to the Jones Honda team and get this result for the 65 that he's able to get right now, I think shows a lot about how well the team is organized, but also the feedback that Bodie Page is able to give the team and translate into a well set up motorcycle.
No question. No question. You see Ella, man, there's a few times where I've watched her tip in and she shakes her head a little bit, like there's definitely something underneath her that she's going to go back to Melly and say, hey, I want to get this fixed or that fixed for sure. There's DeMario coming out of turn 11. As now Ella doing everything. I think this will probably be a pretty fast lap for Ella. She's doing everything she can to claw back that deficit. She lost a 10th in the first split to Bodie Page, but the second split, let's see what she does. She matches him there. She was 7/10 back last time through, so Bodie's done a nice job, and Sam Drain also has, you know, he's taken advantage of the fact that there was a couple little mistakes made and trying to put himself in that window to get himself back on the podium. You see him in there, Greg.
God, you can just see that motorcycle under braking. Just a little bit of bumps there. That the rear end of his motorcycle is not liking those bumps at all. And that's causing some discomfort from the rider. When they lean it over, they can feel it through the seat of the motorcycle. So DeMario now with a 3-second lead over Bodie Page, who's got 0.8 of a second over Dreyer. And then Sam Drain's right there, just 0.7 behind. As we look at splits, Bodie Page in sector number 1 on this lap was his personal best, as was Sam Drain.
Oh, man.
But, dude, that's
Sam Drain is riding a chatter horse right now. Like, you can just see the whole thing. Even the rear tail section is just doing the same, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. DeMario onto the straightaway for the penultimate time. The white flag is going to be out in race number 1 for this Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul. Commanding lead for the 16-year-old American-Italian rider out of Lexington, Kentucky, who's going to be graduating out of this class into Supersport. And here's another look at what
look at that thing.
That rear wheel is just bouncing off the ground.
The bike is literally almost coming off the ground for Sam Drain. Now, I know he's a dirt tracker.
Yeah.
And he can handle that.
Sure.
But it is not definitely going to be the fastest way for him having to deal with that right there.
It is not.
That's a bummer.
Woof. Boy, that vibration gets, you can see it's actually leaving some black marks, some Dunlop
front
rubber
and rear just going. So they got to try to do something with that bike for him tomorrow, because it's going to make it a lot easier to ride for him. Now, Ella Dreyer did do her fastest lap of the race, kind of like we predicted up here, Greg, but the problem was, so did Bodie Page. Both of them at a 27.6.
So on this final lap, we're going to see how this all plays out for DeMario. This is exactly the way he wants to control this championship. Pole position, even though he got that 1 lap this morning with a lap, breaking the lap record. He's got 44-point lead over Sam Drain in this championship.
Something's going on back here, because Ella's lost a lot of time.
Yeah.
As you can see, Bodie Page now has pulled quite away, and she's allowed Sam Drain. She's not going to be happy with this here, Greg. If she doesn't put this bike on the podium, let's see if she can get back in the draft to Sam Drain and pass him as they come down here into turn 12.
A lot of time on these small bikes to draft and pass, so she's going to make the move off the back straightaway on this final lap to take over 3rd spot again. And now we know that this is the part of the racetrack for the 59 where it hasn't been super comfortable, but he's going to go for it anyway. Drain tries it up the inside. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's just going to ride the bumps out. So Dreyer, with a lot of just rear end grip issues in this race, with that little bit of a gap, this might be enough, as DeMario has this one well in hand. Bodie Page comfortable in second, and there's that movement on that motorcycle again.
Just riding through it.
Look at him. What a stud. Yep. Absolute stud. But Ella Dreyer holding on to 3rd spot. So here we go, coming down to the final couple corners, a little wide. Gonna be vulnerable into the final corner. Dreyer gonna lean on him. Oh, and down she goes. Clip the front end of the motorcycle, and they're both down. But DeMario ends up taking victory. Page in second.
Now we got a battle. This battle for 5th is now the battle for 3rd. So where's this battle for 5th right now with Carson King, Solly Mervis, Nathan Betancourt? Where's this battle? Here it is, Greg. As they're coming down to the line, Solly Mervis has the spot.
And he's just got to get through this last corner. Too, so it's acceleration. Oh, and it looks like
Sam Drain picked his bike up.
He was able to pick his bike up and finish in 3rd. Good for Sam Drain. Mervis in 4th. And Betancourt in 5th with Carson King, Sanchez, Dreyer, and Garcia. Wow. There's some drama. Last lap, last corner.
We were watching Ella, but Sam had to be scrambling to get that bike up. Oh, here we go.
Another look at it. And Ella Dreyer sitting there, and she's like, okay, I got past, but I'm going to lean on him. And there was nothing the 59 could do. She's already got her knee on the ground.
Greg, it didn't even look like they touched.
Oh, you think it just she just tucked the front?
I think she tucked the front,
and
I think it just. If we see another look at that, it looked like they didn't even actually touch.
Oh, so that's unfortunate for both of them. That's just. Yeah, let's take a look again.
Let's have a look, Greg, because look at the space between her rear wheel and his front wheel.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
That's crazy.
They didn't touch.
Where did we see that before? We saw that with Tyler O'Hara and Kyle Wyman in turn 11 at Laguna Seca.
Mission King of the Baggers.
Wow.
Unfortunate, too, because both of them wanted that podium, and Sam was able to pick it up and finishing third.
Picks it up.
And a heartbreaker for Mervis, too,
Oh,
because
man.
he had actually been passed by Carson King earlier in the lap. Was Solly Mervis, the 25. He was able to get back to leading that group, and he'll finish fourth. But like Jamie said, his best result of the season for the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology student, Mervis. But it's all about this guy, DeMario, Bodie Page, and Sam Drain. And when we get back, we're going to talk to DeMario and find out how he handled the pressure and got this big race win.
Excitement right down to the end of the 7-lap race, Raj, and Sam Drain able to get the bike back up and come away with that podium position.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, you try to tell young riders all the time to, when you have a crash, try to go pick up that bike as soon as possible. And he went over there and did it and salvaged the podium. Just kind of a weird crash. You know, I hate to see Ella go down like that. She was riding really well. And, you know, when somebody crashes in front of you, sometimes you just automatically get a little bit more front brake than you want, and I'm glad she was able to pick up and still get it 8th, but Sam Drain did a good job not giving up on it.
Yeah, obviously for Drain to be able to come away with that podium, a really important podium for him as well. DeMario keeps his winning streak going, and he's now up to a 49-point lead. He's been the dominant force all the way through this season. He's only missed out on the podium in one race, and that one he still finished inside the top 5. He's tough to beat in this
Yeah,
class.
he's tough. He's such a good rider and such a good talent, and I can't wait to watch him next year in the Super Sport class. He's going to be tough. He's just such a good rider. He knows how to win titles. He's Twins Cup back-to-back, and you know, looks like he's going to have this title as well. He's just such a young talent. He's going to be fun to watch the next couple of years and see what he's going to be able to do.
And obviously that transition from the Twins Cup to the Super Sport bike, it's important to see DeMario do that. This year, we saw it at the Ridge already. He's ready to be a Super Sport rider, but important to show the other riders in the class as well about making those transitions, making those steps. A lot of these riders race in the Twins Cup class as well, but you want to give yourself that chance to be on those bigger bikes as early as you can.
And I think he could have been ready for Super Sport this year, the way he finished last year in Twins Cup. But for him, he's going to a good team also, and that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, and he's a big, tall rider as well, so the Super Sport bike going to suit that stature as well. We'll go back to Greg White, Jason Pridmore, and Jamie Howe.
Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul is brought to you by Parts Unlimited, an industry-leading distributor of aftermarket power sports parts and accessories. Parts Unlimited, we support the sport. By Motul, powering the future of racing. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
DeMario coming in, live shots after that victory. His team giving him congratulations. What a win that was, commanding victory, and you can understand why this young talent is moving up. But so DeMario, they kept it close for as long as they could. But eventually, he started to put the hammer down and just go fast lap, and then another fast lap, and another fast lap, and that ended up at 3.8 seconds over Bodie Page. Now, 28.8 seconds is not the actual margin of victory. Well, it is, but there was drama there for third place, as it looked like to us that both Drain and Dreyer went down on their own. Solly Mervis just a second away from a podium for him, in a great battle between Betancourt, King, and Sanchez. Ella Dreyer able to pick it up and finish 8th in this one. Let's get down to Jamie with our winner.
For Alessandro DeMario, bringing out the what do we call it, costumes here in Victory Lane. You're catching me off guard here, Mario. For you today, getting the win, your 6th win of the season. You're motivated to wrap up this championship here this weekend. How does this help you do that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I got a great start, so that's what I wanted to do, and I was able to lead from lap 1 all the way to the end. So I just can't thank the Warhorse HSBK team enough. The bike felt amazing, I mean, all weekend. And yeah, I just want to thank all my sponsors, KYT, Dainese, and you know, the team, and my parents, Moto Liberty, and just everyone that's helped me out. It is hot out there.
I know your dad, Luigi, watching at home is going to appreciate the Mario get up here. Congratulations on a race win, proving that at the end of the day, still just a 16-year-old racer. Congratulations to him. Moving over to 2nd place, Bodie Page making the move with teams here late in the season, being able to get onto the podium. What does this prove to yourself at this point?
You know, a lot of confidence. We haven't been on the podium Well, we got on the podium last round, but just not with confidence. But yeah, the race was good, and I just can't thank Jeff, Brandon, and American Honda for the opportunity. Like, it's awesome. So I definitely wouldn't be here without them. And Corey Texter, the whole Texter family back at home, they're watching. And my mum and dad, they do so much for me. My whole family, they support me. Without them, this wouldn't be possible either. My personal sponsors, Mission, 64 Degree, Revit, Arai, Food Sport, and just everyone who helps. I can't thank you enough.
Poise and confidence. Congratulations on another podium result. So we move over to our third place finisher on the number 59. You can see the war wounds on the side of the bike from going down there on that very last turn. Sam, for you to pick the bike up and cross the stripe there to bring home this podium result, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I was keeping up with Bodie and Ella at the start, and had a big moment coming down the hill about high-sided there. It's just getting real bad chatter because I guess the track's slippery because of the heat, but I can't thank my Monster Energy Yamaha Blue Crew team enough. Estenson Racing. I thought I was waiting for that pack to come around that last turn, so I knew a trick from when I crashed before. You have to turn it off and on real quick, but I don't think Ella got that. But I ended up getting the podium, so I'm happy. Get Larry and Jamie fixing this bike for tomorrow.
14 years old, using all the experience that he has. Congratulations.
Yeah, that kill switch, that's what it's going to do. Tip over switch, and you got to cycle through it to get it to go. And he was able to get it done just about 1 second ahead of Solly Mervis and the rest of the crew. Well, this guy's looking for another national championship in a single season. He's already got one wrapped up this year. So let's take a look at this championship standing. So now 53 points the advantage over Sam Drain, 71 over Page, and Vosberg. Ella Dreyer there in 5th place. There's 75 points left in this season as we have one more race remaining here at Circuit of the Americas. And then in a couple weeks' time, we're going to New Jersey Motorsports Park in what could be an any weather is going to give it to us New Jersey at the end of the year. It's going to be really entertaining. Well, great race here for a great bunch of young kids. We get to do it again tomorrow for race number 2, so make sure you join us. Can't wait to see you then.